Justin Fields. Listen, people, I've tried to support, I've tried to defend this guy, but it just seems like I can't defend him anymore. I can't, people. He has I've never seen somebody. Now, here's the thing, and I guess you could say it's just his look, but I've never seen somebody have the most schmuck look on their face 24/7. I mean, this guy doesn't show any type of emotion. His face is just stone cold the way it is. He has one of those, "Yeah, man, whatever" type faces. You know what I mean? Like, you see him throw an interception and be on the sideline. His face is just like, "So what? I threw it. Oh well." And he just has that. He just gives off that kind of energy, man. I don't know what it like. That dude. They won this game. Chicago beat Minnesota because Josh Dobbs finally came back to earth. Everybody was praising him for what he was able to do when he stepped in with the miracle game a few weeks back, but people left out the fact that he stepped in a miracle game when the team he was going against had no type of scouting report on him. Only thing they could do was go back in the few days that they had time to watch footage of his previous games and other systems. But now that teams know the system that the head coach is running for him, know the plays, he has come back to earth tremendously, and you see that he is not a starter. You see he's not a starter. You see he's a backup. You see he's not very good. And the game tape is out there now. The game tape is out there on how to defend Joshua Dobbs. The game tape is out there on how to play defensively against Joshua Dobbs when it wasn't out there the first few weeks when he was with Minnesota. Now there's game tape of him in Minnesota's system. Now the defenses have adjusted. And then look what happened. He threw 185 yards and 4 interceptions. 100 people. 185 yards and 4 interceptions. Passer rating of 54.3. That man threw 4 interceptions. 4 bad interceptions at that. 4 bad ones. But back to Justin Fields. I can't keep defending this guy. He had 2 fumbles and 2 fumbles lost. So he fumbled twice and 2 of them were lost. And the crazy part about it is, you know what's crazy about this? It isn't only that he fumbled twice, it's that he keeps doing it. Every game it seems like he fumbles. For a guy who has the legs to run, for a guy who has the ability to escape the pocket, he's very, very careless with the football. And it literally makes no sense why this guy is so careless with the football. Like, I'm trying to support this kid, but at the same time, it's like, dude, what are you doing out there? Like, they gave you weapons. Your offensive line is not bad. You have a decent offensive line. They gave you weapons, and you're still struggling out there. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. He's still struggling out there. They gave you a number 1 receiver. You have a top 10 tight end. You have a top 10 tight end. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, Cole Kmet is a top 10 tight end. Robert Tonyan is a great backup. You have good secondary receivers. It's no excuse for you not to be putting up better numbers than you do. It's no excuse for you to be struggling out there the way you are struggling. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, people. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to understand why he is this bad. Why is he he'll win you, he can win you a game, but at the same time he can lose you one as well. He'll lose you one before he wins you one. If that makes sense. He'll lose you, he'll be the reason you lose the game before you win it. And it's just, like I said again, it's mind-boggling to me that he's this bad, people. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I'm still trying to process how a guy can fumble so much. And if you used to running 100 yards a game, 80 yards, 60 yards a game, you would think you have the intelligence and the wherewithal. And I'm not saying he's not intelligent, because clearly he is, off and on the field. But you would think he has the wherewithal to say, okay. But see, there again, that's why it comes back to my point about him being arrogant, him having a smug, arrogant persona about him. Because when he takes off running, he thinks in his mind probably, that he isn't going to be caught. I'm going to take off running. They ain't going to catch me. So ball security when he's running isn't even a top priority for him. He's just thinking he's just going to outrun everybody. And while he's running, the ball is dangling from his hands. The ball is dangling from his hands, and what do you know? It gets popped out. Or when he's under pressure, instead of him protecting the ball, he's holding the ball like it's an apple hanging from a tree, and somebody just knocks it out every time. So, listen, I don't know. Justin Fields, chances are his time in Chicago may be done, depending on how he finished the season. The Bears will have the number 1 pick more than likely. So if that's the case, 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to get traded. But if he does get traded, where I would like to see Justin Fields? I would like to see Justin Fields with the Rams. I think Justin Fields with the Rams, or Justin Fields with a team like Tampa Bay with a new head coach, with a new coaching staff. Like, I could see him succeeding with the Rams, or I could see him succeeding with the Rams. I could see him succeeding with Tampa Bay with a new coaching staff. Just somewhere else. Like, he just needs to be, no, he doesn't need to go anywhere where things aren't already in place. He needs to go somewhere like the Rams. What's another team? Like I said, the Rams. Right now, that's the only team I can think of, like, that already has everything, like, in place for him. Culture, team, players. He needs to be somewhere like that, and I can see it happening too. But his time in Chicago may be done. You got to clean up the mistakes, man. It's just too many mistakes, one after another. Especially when you're in prime position to succeed.